Okay, so in my life of trauma, one of the things that I would do in order to survive, because I wasn't allowed to show emotion of any sort or draw attention in any way, shape, or form with a cast from my toe to my hips. Um, so I learned to put things in a box in my head, in a closet, with no windows and only one door that was steel lined. And well, anyway, that was so I could be safe. And it served me very well for many years. But there came a time when I lived in a world of more fear of that box than I did of joy in the day. I have wanted to do this for so many years. So here we go. Each box has a different memory, a different trauma, a different experience. In that experience, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like the allergy resistance thing that I learned from Kim and Eliza. Oh my gosh. Eliza? Is that right? I have so much respect for those women. Okay, so they say that allergies are actually resistance that are brought on through a negative experience as we're developing our regulation for our nervous system. So I am going to say, on top of what they're doing, oh my gosh, it's the same thing with memories. If you're putting this shit in a box and you're putting resistance up against it, it's going to push back. It's going to push back, and it's going to start controlling and owning you. No, I can't do that because that'll trigger. Yeah, triggers. When I learned triggers, that was a big transition. I have been a healer all of my life. I walk through a mall, and wherever my energy is, it is transmuting negativity back to love. That's my job. That's what I do in this world. That's how I am. So being very magical, there were a lot of blocks put in my way. Yeah, how can you know that? You're 6 years old. He's a full-grown man. How do you know that? I just did. And cars too. That's broken. Whatever that thing is, I'll describe it. I can see it. It's broken. Whatever it is. I can do that with humans too. But I was told I couldn't do that, so I didn't do that. Now, that put all that in a box. So I didn't have access to it. So all of that of me, my essence, my source energy, signature self, higher being went in the box. Me went in the box. So I met a counselor. Finally, I met a counselor who was willing to take on my trauma. I had been in counseling for almost 30 years. Nobody wanted to handle the trauma. No, oh God, that's too big. I can't. Yeah. So, the first time I told somebody I was kept in a box as a little girl, they didn't take that well. Oh no, keep that in that box. Great. Locking me up in a box. Okay, so no, I believe that I'm going to have all kinds of resistance to this, but if I went through EMDR, which is eye movement reprogramming and desensitization. No, it's desensitization. It should be disassociation. That's my opinion. Anyway, and we started opening those boxes one at a time. Here I am. I'm still finding boxes because I had a lot of them and I hid them very well. Okay, so, and I may always have boxes I find, but the one thing that I learned through EMDR is, you ready for this? Because this blew my mind. I'd already lived through this shit once, and it is not present and happening in this moment anymore. So the fear of the imminent danger, it's bullshit and lies. It's all in your head. You're making it up. As I say that, a thought comes to my mind that until I found out that my dad had taken his last breath, I was in fear of taking my last breath. So there's that. But he died a year ago in July, last July, so it's been a year and a half or so. That's an experience. So I want to say death is magical. But don't ever tell me I said that because, whew. Okay, so that's one of my boxes. Right there. Death. Death. I personally am not afraid of death. No. I am afraid of your death. Or my daughter's death, or the lady down the street who I walk her dog. Last week, she was laying on her son found her laying on her floor in a diabetic coma. So then I had dreams up to 3 days prior of her being on the floor. And I tried to tell her, I didn't know her son's number. I didn't know, anyway, I walk her dog. So yeah, she's doing better though. That was such a big revelation for me because all of my life I see someone's death or I know they're going to die 3 days before they die, and I don't get to do anything about it. I don't get to, I mean, I can tell them, but it's not going to change it. And I don't know. I think Spirit just likes to make me look like a crazy person. You're going to die in 3 days. Ah! Okay, so I've learned not to do that, and that is the point. I'm still learning how to integrate those powers. And there's the box that I need. I don't know how to approach people. Death is a beautiful thing. The other side is amazing. But leaving this side is not always. Thank you for that. Truly, thank you for that. That was a big shift. I'm going to take a break now because I got to go process. But thank you.